That was rough for me. I'm not too technical. I'm not too technologically. Yeah. I'm really dumb. Let's try to get this. I wasn't even. Oh man, I want to. It should be flipped around. All right, guys, what's going on? This is a little weird. This looks different than before. Let me just make sure I can see all my live messages. Oh, well, I don't even know how to say your name. Thanks, guys. Lo Benevente, Axes of Keevil, Matt, Zachary Gross. Help? Why did Zachary just say help? Why did you say help, Zachary? Is that for me? Is that I need help? Yeah, I do. Okay. That's my shot back there. Just sitting. Okay, let me get centered. I did it. 1,000 subscribers. Pretty cool. Okay, I pronounced it right. I'm feeling good about it. Look at this. The C and B experience. Thank you. I did get 1 million subscribers. 1,000K subscribers. What's going on, Urban Lumberjack? Oh man, this is great to see you guys here. So it was really, for some reason, I don't know how to schedule things. I mean, I just get really anxious about having anything planned ahead anyway. So I don't really like doing that. I don't even like when I have a like if someone were to pay for a ticket for me to fly somewhere, I would be like, man, I hate that I have to remember that in 3 months I'm flying somewhere. I'd rather just not maybe fly anywhere. I'm a little bit of a baby. Thanks, guys, for the 1,000. I was supposed to be smiling it up, but I was just really anxious about getting this started on without it, without something going wrong. I couldn't. For some reason, the video wasn't showing up in the subscription feed. Someone told me. Did you guys have that problem where it didn't show up in your subscription feed? Oh, the camera's right here. Yeah, did this video show up in your subscription feed? I assume it did if you guys are here because usually I don't get anybody here in the first like 15 minutes. I don't have much planned, but we'll talk axes. Uh, I have my thoughts on axes. I have my thoughts on, there's the users that don't give a shit and they just put the axe handle on the axe and they don't really care. Okay, good. I'm glad it showed up for you, Zachary. It wouldn't make sense. Well, I don't know why I asked that question. Obviously, it showed up for you guys. Um, I really am thrown off because I want to try something. Can I flip this camera? Raw axis. Thanks, buddy. Let me try something here. Oh boy. Okay, this is going to be really. Let's just see if that works. Okay, that's better for me. That's excellent. Okay. Now we're in the money. Let me just do that. All right. Now I feel more comfortable. Before I was on a native burial ground, and now I'm not. So we don't have to do any land acknowledgments anymore. Thank God. Are we allowed to be Canadian? Yeah, that's too Canadian with what's going on. By the way, trade wars. That's pretty. Anybody know about trade wars historically? Obviously, there's like the spice wars. I don't know anything about that. I just know the spice and wars. I'm sure there's been spice wars all throughout history until other things mattered more. Axe man, knife man. Man, that is a good. That is a really good. What's it called? Name. Name. Really know how to say that. I want to show you guys something. I was gonna do a really. I thought it was gonna be fun, where I do a little video where I was gonna make this a walking stick, but I realized it had too many knots in bad places, so I just broke it. And I thought I was doing it on camera, and I realized that all I got was me like looking at the camera and going, "Oh shit," and not even the shit part. Oh, all I said was "oh," and then turning it off because I thought I pressed record. So yeah, a dead man walking stick, dead man walking stick. There we go. Yeah, U.S. tried to annex Canada in 1870s with tariffs. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that every Canadian is not too happy about it. I really don't know much about what's going on. I don't really know why you tariff Canada. Like there's definitely some countries that you could put pressure on for whatever reasons. Not sure if it's Canada. You ever get in a slump where your wedges fight you every step of the way? So, if that happens, my friend, I think I could help you. If your wedges are fighting you every time, I'm trying to look for something with a curve. If your wedges are fighting you, yeah, we don't know either. Sorry about that, Axis of Keevil. Sorry about that whole, big issue going on. So if your wedges are fighting you, either they're too fat or there's not enough gap to fill. So basically, what the wedge is it's just filling the gaps side to side. You do want to fill all the space front to back, but there's no like pressure going like this front to back. All the pressure is this way, really. So what you do, you see how thin the tongue of the handle is here? See how thin that is? That's how I allowed, God bless, excuse me. I allowed a fatter wedge because I took a lot of material off the top of the tongue, just the sides and just the top. So you kind of got to balance it out. You don't really want to go like too far, but before like where the wedge stops going in. Like I guess they say 2/3 to 3/4 is usually where your wedge goes. So, somewhere around here. You wouldn't want to remove material from the top of the wedge any further below that because that'll mess with your fit. Really, wherever you'll see on the handle when you're hanging it, when you're banging it on, you'll see um, where it's like been compressed by the head. That's kind of where your contact on the bottom of your hang is. So you kind of want a lot of that. But it's something to play around with. If your wedges are shooting out, they're too thick for what you need, probably, or your taper is too obtuse. Yeah, you want to maybe make that a less crazy taper. Now, are you hanging an axe with a really short eye? That might happen. That it's difficult. Then you'll have to have a smaller wedge. It'll be a thinner wedge usually, but you'll have to figure it out. So there will be less gap, but the wedge can be thinner because of that. I just like a fat wedge because it looks good. I'm not really sure if it works better or not, but hold on. Did I miss anybody here? Oh, thanks, Arnie. Arnie. I had an uncle named almost named Arnie. His name wasn't Arnie though. I've done a bunch, but just lately I've been struggling a little. Did that do anything for you, Raw Axis? Did like that? Do you think that could be your issue? Is that your wedge is maybe too fat or you don't have enough gap to fill? Because usually with a real short wedge, let me just get a wedge real quick. Let me get a wedge real quick. Okay. So usually when you have a shorter wedge, it has to taper faster, and that'll make it so it'll jump out quick. Now this isn't a good example because this is super fat. This could almost be cut in half. This is a little piece of American beech, I think. Yep, American beech. I don't know. Is it American beech? It looks like it. This looks like. You know what? Actually, this is an American beech. This is American beech, and it's cracked. Anyway, thanks. I just want to I didn't really come on here for a reason. I did want to thank everybody for following me and being supportive. Thanks, Michael. I'm not going to call you Michael. Your name is Mike to me. Thanks, Mike. I was actually thinking about working on your axe, but I kind of want to be a surprise. What kind of axe you're going to get, Mike? So Mike is my pal from the flea market. He kind of took me under his wing in the beginning of me going to the flea market, and he really helped me out. and we kind of trade and we give each other stuff. And I told him I would hang an axe for him one day, and he gave me that cool mortise axe. Let me go get it. He gave me that cool mortise axe, and I'll show it. And so I told him, you know, any axe you want, I will hang it for you. I'll make a handle for you. And so this is the one he decided to get back from me. So I've had a little bit of elbow problems, and I haven't worked on it quite yet, but I did kind of start a handle, and then I didn't really like it. I don't think it was correct. So I'm trying to go with kind of historically accurate, but not you know, terribly historically accurate. Um, and so I'll just say it's going to be a little longer. It's not going to be like a hatchet size or a long hatchet. It's going to be slightly longer than that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I plan on going to Mike's to show his really cool collection off, and I guess I'll hand him the axe too, the finished axe. I'm not going to touch the edge, by the way. That's actually pretty. I wonder if it was probably straight from the factory, but honestly, that looks pretty good. Like that doesn't look like a weird. You know, there's not like awful toe wear or heel wear. There's a slight amount of damage, but this is never getting used. I'm sure Mike's just going to hang this up as a wall hanger. So I'm not going to do anything to the edge. It actually has the stamp on both sides. Not sure if you guys could see this. Yeah, you can't really see it. But this is a really cool one. Look at the eye. Thank you, Appalachian Axeman. Oh, Appalachian Axeman. Guys, check out Appalachian Axeman. He probably uses axes the most out of anybody on here. So check out his channel. He really tests these things. I feel like when you swing an axe, when you're cross cutting for like a half hour, you pretty much know, okay, this axe is decent. You know, it's not, the hot spots aren't bad or anything. But when you do as much as Appalachian Axeman, you really know how durable that axe is and how good the steel is, everything. And he really tests those things out, and he has tested a bunch of them. So go check out his channel. I got 1,000 subscribers. I think he should have 1,000 as well. And same with Matt, and same with Axes of Keevil. He definitely deserves at least 1,000. Probably, honestly, he makes way better videos than me. So maybe unfollow me and check out his channel. All right, Mike. Oh, you have some stuff that. Oh, I'm excited for that. Mike always gives me awesome stuff. So, and he doesn't need to. Like, he's given me a bunch of stuff already. He's actually. I'll show you something he has given me. He gave me this, and while this isn't exactly my style handle, I think I'll just sharpen this and give it a try. It's a finish hewer. It is a single bevel. Oh, does it have a good curve? Oh, yeah, it is. My dog is talking to me here. So I think it's curved. So this is what you want. You actually want it to cup a little bit. And that makes it so it just works a lot better. I forget exactly why it works a lot better right now because the dog is distracting me. How loud is the dog for you guys? One of the loudest dogs I've ever heard bark. So it's really crazy. He's a wild dog. When I was little, I kind of was around a lot of female dogs who were pretty subdued. And now I like goofy dogs. He's a big goofball. I didn't care much about goofy dogs, but now I get it. I love a big goofy dog. Maybe that comes with being an adult. You just like a big goof. The ladies prefer your videos, though. I don't know about that. I looked at the last 28 days. They didn't. Robert Blacksmith. Amazon package arrived. I don't know what that means. Oh, the dog. I was like, what does that mean? I don't really mess with Amazon because you know what they do. You know what Amazon does? They just take everything out of the Amazon rainforest, like it's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. They just pick everything right off of a cool plant. And that's how we get all our stuff. Doesn't even come from China. That's why it's so cheap. It just grows out of the ground. They've been lying to us about the Amazon rainforest this whole time. So many peculiar things there. They're like, oh, there's like thousands of unexplored medicines. No, dude, it's that potato peeler just comes right off the vine in the Amazon rainforest. Yeah, I'm really distracted. My dog is killing me. Our dogs bark at anyone coming to the door. Yeah, my dog isn't really so worried about people, but he really, I call him the squirrel wars. He is so focused on squirrels that it's actually starting to worry me. He stares up at the sky like he's a tree and coon hound, or at least that's part of him. So he's like in his blood to chase things up a tree. Now he just stares at the sun and goes blind. And I'm like, I guess I got to talk to a pet doctor, a vet, because it's worrying me. He's gonna go blind from just barking at nothing up there. It happened right after all that drone stuff, and I was like, is my dog paranoid or am I paranoid? I don't know what's going on. And so I think it's just the squirrel wars. Yes, I watch all of you. You all bring something good to add to the toolbox for sure. I watched Matt's video 4 times now. Thanks to all you guys, man. That's great, man. Can I just call you Lo? Because I'm having trouble pronouncing it. Benevente. Is that so? I thought you were French or something, but is that an Italian name? Benevente? Okay, Lo. I'll call you Lo though. Is it Italian? I love Italians on the internet because, like, oh, Guam. I don't really know where Guam is geographically, but I've heard of it so many times. Is Guam in the Gulf of Mexico? I mean, is the Gulf of it's so crazy that it's so why even worry about that? The Gulf of America. Okay, close to Hawaii. What do you guys think about it being called the Gulf of America? What's that? Why? It's so weird. I'm not even doing the like you know, I don't know. I'm not political at all. Or I mean, I'm not partisan at all. Just like from an outside perspective, what's the point of renaming it if it is renamed? Land of the Brown Tree Snakes. Oh yeah, are those dangerous, Matt? Matt knows a lot of like facts about nature. Hawaii-ish. Is it? I'm not going to say anything. I don't know really much about people or um, nationalities or anything. I was going to ask you if it's like a Pacific Island kind of thing. I don't even know what that means. Does it just mean Pacific Islander? Just means you're in the Pacific on an island. That could, I mean, Australia technically. Okay, Australia is kind of like an island in the Pacific, right? But when people say Pacific Islander, they think of like what's it called, a native person of one of those islands, though. That's at least what I think. I actually knew someone that was from, I think, Hawaii or some kind of Pacific Island place. Were very comparable to Filipino. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I knew someone that was from some kind of a place like that, and I was talking to her about it. It was really interesting. She was saying like how a lot of people are really poor here, but you can kind of live off the land. So that's awesome to me. But it is sad. Like if you need medical treatment, you do need, a lot of times you need money or something. I actually don't know how it is in all those places, but I'm sure, there's emergencies, I'm sure, and you need money for emergencies. But when it comes to just, eating and sleeping, they're just chilling, which is awesome. It's kind of like what we all axe users kind of would love to live the dream of, I live off my axe type of thing. Can you imagine if you didn't even have a knife and you just cut your meat up with an axe and like did everything with an axe? It's kind of like a fantasy for maybe guys like me and maybe some of you. But I know that that would be difficult. Imagine your axe isn't sharp. You only have one axe. I would never. I hope I would never have one axe if I really depend on them. But imagine you depend on the one axe and it's not sharp. You're like, God damn it, I gotta actually do it today. I mean, right now, I gotta actually sharpen it right now. Because I know once you sharpen, like I've probably sharpened hundreds, maybe thousands of edges, and it really does get a little. It's maybe not the most fun part for me. I think I like working with wood more, But I do really love testing an edge once I like redo the bevel. What is that called again? I don't remember. Yeah, so thanks guys for being 1,000 subscribers, helping me out on the journey. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think I've hit a stride where I'm making videos you guys like a little more. So I'm gonna keep trying to do that. I'm not trying to like joke around all the time. I'm trying to cut to the point a little more, or at least focus on what I think I've learned a little more. Yeah, no, not honing. What like reprofiling the primary bevel is kind of what I was thinking of. But yeah, when I reprofile a primary bevel, when I like redo it and it's keen enough to actually cut, I really love cutting with it. It feels so good to put it back into wood, and it's just such a big difference between let's see, huge difference between this axe when it's dull like this. Man, that's dull. I like to show people. It's scared. People that don't care about axes get so scared when you do anything around an edge, no matter how dull it is. It's kind of pathetic, honestly, but they don't know. They don't know better. And not it's not like it's crazy to be worried about someone doing that around an edge. It could be very dangerous if it was sharp. Oh yeah, Mike, remember this? I don't know if Mike's still here, but remember this thing? Oh man, this is the worst edge ever. Oh, you can really see it. Let me see if I can make it focus. Oh my god. It's so bad. It's just completely cupped on the inside here. I think that the toe and the heel are kind of matched up. Yeah. Yeah. How many others did you have of these? How many did you get of these, Mike? I yeah. Look how much work I did on this. I really ground it and it was still really okay. So you have another one. Can you check and see when you have time? Can you check and see if the other one's like this too? I mean, I ground like maybe a quarter inch off, and it's still really bad. And I did a little bit of like you could see so I ground on this side, right? You could see where it starts like here, and then it goes here, and then look at the other side. I tried to grind it, and you just can't get in the you just can't get it in the middle here. Really bad. The best. I love that stuff. Honestly, if you sharpen it, I don't think it would matter too much for kindling. Like you can split with an axe that isn't completely straight. I have a little hatchet that I use. You can even cut with an axe that isn't really straight, but I don't really know. I don't really know why does it matter a ton? I don't know if it really matters a ton. Like maybe if you're trying to be really accurate with something, and maybe it could mess with deflections, like if you're actually cross cutting with this, but it is a 20-inch handle, so or maybe a little less actually. Let's see, what does it say? I don't think it does. Do I have a tape? No, I don't have a tape. Keep the jokes, you crack me up, man. Thanks, the C and B experience. I just put my finger right in your mouths, right in your faces. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think about that? I got to stop doing that. The reason why I'm touching the screen is so I can like look at the chat again because it disappears after a little bit. What do you think about edges having to be perfectly straight? I don't think all uses they need to be perfectly straight. Like my fro isn't really perfectly straight because it bent before, and it works just as good. It's just not going to be a perfectly straight, split. Honestly, they're never perfectly straight anyway. So does it really matter if your axe isn't a perfectly straight edge? As long as you apex it and it's keen enough for what you want to do, I don't know if it matters too much. Maybe we should test that. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just use a round file on the inside here. I'll just use a round file, although I think it was pretty hard. Do I have a file here? Let's see. I don't think I have a file. Speaking of too hard, here we go. For bucking and stuff, the crooked bit will jam up and not penetrate. For splitting, probably not. Yeah, I think that could be true. I think that it could definitely mess with, because really all the design is like about cutting and, cutting into the wood, that's where the design really matters. Like, they didn't put too much thought into this one. It's just a flat grind. I guess you can call this part concave right here because it's fat and then it goes down, but it's just straight. Oh wow, is that not even straight? Is that not even straight? Oh my god. So we talk about the high center line. This right here is higher than the middle because I can't see the middle. It's higher than the middle. Look at that. It's higher. It's the opposite of high center line. Not that it matters for a 3-pound axe. It's going to be sticky no matter what, but I don't know. Hey, maybe it would work the opposite. Maybe high. What do you even call this part of the cheeks? I don't even know. We don't even have a word for this because, well, we might, because this part matters a lot more than this part usually, but man, that is pretty pathetic. And I think this too. I mean, it might be a little tiny bit thinner than the middle of the cheeks, but yeah, you guys remember this. Beavercraft Tools never messaged me back after the last time I messaged them. And they changed their name on Instagram, so it doesn't even say Beavercraft Tools. It's just like wood carving tools. It's pretty pathetic. I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy where I, shit on people, but it isn't the best company. I have lots of thoughts on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this hunk of shit. And they might have copied my friend Glen. Probably not. I kind of see a little bit of this in other designs, but the part that really looks like his is this. It goes a little diagonal on this right here. And obviously it's just really poorly done if they did copy. Like, the fuck is this, a bat like ninja star right here? Actually, funny enough, Glen Howling Winds, I forget his whole thing. I'll put it in the description after this video ends. After this live stream ends, I'll put in the video. You get a link to his Instagram. He made a double bit that kind of has like a batarang. Is that what they're called? The Batman like ninja stars. Yeah, it kind of looks like a batarang, but this is the shittiest batarang of all time. Honestly, the double bit's kind of cool. The one he made a while ago. Yeah, so Matt, trust me, man, I'd love to just hear you trash this thing for probably a couple of hours. I wouldn't mind. Jesus. $200 for this. And I swear, I saw that they sell just the head for $150. They're so aware that the handle is terrible that they're just like, hey, the leather sheath, the leather shoulder strap. What else does it come with? I think that's it. And the box and the ship. I don't know about the shipping, but everything is worth $50, including the handle. So that's how you know how terrible that handle is. Hollow cheeks on some European axes and Canadian pulpwood axes. Oh yeah, they go hollow, like they scoop in this way, both ways. I never even saw that, man. That is the great. So like, if you wonder why anybody collects American axes, just think about that. Really, really, very few places are convexing the cheeks like American axes. Like, look at the difference here. Oh, this is crazy. Look at that difference. You're looking at the middle of the cheeks. You can barely even tell that there's something right here. You're looking right at the middle of the cheeks. And wait a second, there's another bit that's doing the same exact thing. Look at the difference. You want to chop softwoods, you want to chop birch and small diameter pulpwood stuff. Sure, you could use the flat cheek stuff. If you want to take down big American trees, big hardwoods, you're going to need these fat profiles. You're going to need these high center lines. And even if you don't need them, it's just a pleasure when something doesn't stick in wood, especially if you want to go from chopping to splitting. Man, something like this is indispensable. Imagine the guys in like the 1800s. And actually, I had a comment where someone said, I forget where he said he lives, but I depend on an axe. So imagine the guy depends on this axe, and his axe gets gets stuck in the wood every swing, and it takes him, 30% of his energy just removing the axe from what he's swinging in. every time he goes out and swings. And then he uses this one. And he's like, wow, I'm feeling like this is a little bit more effortless. Um, so yeah, is it worth $200? No, it's not even, to me, this is not even worth $100 with the handle. But I have a different, I'm different than others. It's all timber sizes. You think, the convex cheeks work no matter what? I mean, because so Ben Scott talked about this a lot. He didn't think that flat cheeks really mattered too much. He was, taking down like 6, 8 inch diameter stuff with really thin, I think French axes or European designs. And I kind of agreed with him. It looked like that. It looks like it's true. It doesn't matter how sticky something is in certain woods or certain diameters, but so you think that it does. You think that it helps no matter what to have those fat cheeks with convex high center line. I mean, to me, it doesn't really need a high center line if it's really wedgy. I mean, that's the whole point of a lot of main axes. They're really wedgy, and they don't really have high center lines, and they don't stick at all. Here's something that would have been designed for chopping. Here's a rockaway pattern. I'm worried about this edge. I'm worried about this edge getting me. Hold on, my dog's telling me. My dog is my secretary. Yeah, so this is beautifully. Oh man, that is just gorgeous. So this is a little bit of a higher center line, but it's a continuous. I guess that's a continuous taper. Yeah, that's a continuous wedge. I mean, because of how wide this bit is, honestly, I got to put this on a stick, man. This is a really nice axe. So when I chopped with this, I put a old style handle on it. I think the thin chinks are better for small diameter wood, especially soft. Okay, yeah, we pretty much agree on that. But by the way, like I talked about, falling mat, axis of Keevil. Is that axis of Keevil? I'm sorry, I keep hoping I'm not making any mistakes with names. Appalachian Axeman. Who else should you got? Urban Lumberjack has a great channel. But I think my axe father's really skill cult, my axe father. But Ben Scott is another guy I learned a ton from in the beginning of my journey, and he doesn't really post anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, go back and watch those videos. That's the weird thing about YouTube. There's so much knowledge in the archives that people just, it's gone now. People watch the new video and they don't go back really. For me, it's a good thing because I'm embarrassing. But for Ben Scott, that's stupid because there's a wealth of knowledge there. And, he did a lot of testing and talking about stuff. There's some things I don't follow, but that's with all people, all teachers. You're going to take what you get out of it, and you won't agree on everything, but you should really only feel that way once you know a lot about something. I didn't think that way in the beginning. I was like, everything he's saying is true. But now I have not a lot. I have a decent amount of experience. I've done probably more hanging and sharpening than Ben Scott, so confident about that. I've definitely done more sharpening than Ben Scott. And I've probably made more, like I'm pretty sure I made more handles. It looked like he was kind of buying handles. He's the kind of guy, he just wants to use the axe. He didn't really care about, oh shit, I'm pulling metal off of this. See this? Wonder what that's about. So I think this was a Kelly's Finest or a World's Finest Kelly. Really beautiful axe. Just one of the best like looking axes you can get. I'm trying to figure out how to hold this without killing myself or taking a toe off. Oh my god, that is gorgeous. Rob Spath just put together a Rockaway, and I'm thinking it is really nice. My Grand Force felling axe has flat sides, but I can't tell the difference because I don't chop enough. Yeah, well, you can tell with. Do you split though, Rob? Do you split? Do you split? Because I mean, yeah, it does look all. Ben Scott Skill Cult videos are great. I agree. Yeah, but do you split a lot with your, flat or not so flat axes? because I feel like it's even more apparent when you split with an axe. A lot of people are not going to be chopping large diameter wood, so the sticking doesn't really come into play. But it really, once you like take on something where you hit it, and it's like a thud. Like you'll know when you start hit. It's not just the noise, obviously, it's the diameter. But when you make a thud, and it's like I gotta put a lot more thuds into this. Yes, but with a flint edge. I haven't seen a lot of thick flint edge axes. Let me show you guys one that I have. This is really a gorgeous axe, like one of my best originals. This is a flint edge. Beautiful, beautiful jersey. But look how thin it is. I think most of these were for cutting. I mean, it doesn't look super thin to the camera, but this is a cutting axe. It's good that it has a little thickness, but not a splitter. I see a lot of people. It's so isn't that weird? I just flipped it, and I think it's probably the angle. Maybe it was more like this before. Look how much thinner it looks. That looks so much thinner. How did that just happen? Maybe I'm just wrong. Hotbox Pizza Truck. Thank you for the congratulations, man. I see that guy, Hotbox Pizza Truck. You're over there. You use firewood to cook pizza. Am I right? That's the best. To me, that's the highest level. I don't know if you've seen that. I split firewood for a smoker and for cooking, grilling. I don't use charcoal. I just cook directly on fire or over coals or with smoke. I've noticed that I use my hands a lot. I'm like an immigrant in the early 1900s trying to communicate at Ellis Island. That was a stretch. I was just thinking of Italian people, how there's like a stereotype. Italian people use their hands to talk, but it's really like pretty much any immigrant uses their hands to talk that's from that kind of region. Any European place, any. I'm trying to think, is there like do African people talk with their hands? No, there's not a stereotype for African people talking with their hands, but Nigerians are pretty like they don't hide their emotions. I wonder if they talk with their hands too, or if that's like a if you could use that stereotype with different African countries. I'm trying to think. Anybody have any idea? Like my brain is kind of stuck. Is what people don't use their hands to talk? That's the better question. That's an interesting thought. Like it kind of shows like authenticity. You're trying to I forget what it's called, but when you're not being truthful, your hands are off like they're off rhythm with what you're saying. I've heard that before. So if someone's like if someone's trying to make a point and their hands stop at the wrong time, it means maybe they're being dishonest. But what's it called? Very similar. Can't think of the pattern right now. Oh, okay. Oh, to very similar to the jersey. Oh, interesting. So you can see even the paint is on there. This is the other side. Oh, is there a? Oh, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a 3-2 on here. Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but there's a pole stamp for the weight. So very exciting. Very exciting. Very nice. I forget who said they don't want me to stop trying to be fun. Yeah, I don't know, because I've watched a few videos recently. Like there's that Dr. Mike. I'm not trying to crap on it, shit on anybody here. I gotta stop. It's really sucks that we gotta like censor ourselves on YouTube. Like, have you seen all this stuff? I guess it only matters if you're monetized, and I'm not monetized yet. So I know it's thin, but it works for Locust and Oak. I split. Okay. Do you split short rounds? I found that people don't really feel the same way about splitting if they split short rounds. Like I've been I've split like 19-inch long rounds of like red maple, and I'm like, man, this is so difficult, especially with big knots. Same with oak, red oak even. Um, it depends if the wood is gnarly, but yeah, when it's gnarly and it's long, it's really tough to split stuff. But when it's like 10 inches long, and the diameter could be anything. Honestly, the wide diameter timber can be pretty easy to split sometimes. My only thoughts on that is that when it's white oak, man, white oak can be so nasty, and you just have no idea. The bark looks perfect, perfectly straight trunk, but there's just lots of. I guess it tries to push out a lot of limbs in its early age. So in the middle, really knotty, and you can't even really see them. Like I guess it's kind of like this is pin oak, which is named for its pin-like knots all in the wood. Let me see if I have one to show you guys. Nope, it's just right here. No, I do not. You see this? Take all the crap off this. Oh, it cracked. Dang it. This was quite a valuable piece of streaking American sweet gum. Nobody else had this stuff. Working, but had to say congrats. Thank you, Iron and Wood. I appreciate it, man. It's crazy, So I think what some people do is they're like, hey, I need like a ton more viewers to make it worth it. But if there was 1,000 people gathered in a room, which that they're not, there's 11 people gathered in this room, but 11 is a lot, honestly. If I had a class in like a university and 11 people showed up, I'd be like, that's not bad, 11 people care about this. Although it is pretty awful that like 3 people leave at once at your class. My worst was a big elm that grew around a wire fence. Yeah, elm is nasty though. I've heard some bad stories about elm. But what do you guys think about splitting longer rounds, like taller rounds? Have you guys thought about that? I don't hear a lot of people talk about it for some reason. I think people just either my woodcutter 44, hello and congratulations. Thank you very much. We are celebrating woodcutter. It's a big celebration. We're using our hands to show our appreciation. um, Yeah, I think a lot of people. When I was little, I used to like punch my own knuckles. Now I guess it hurts a little more, but I used to like punch things and think it's strengthening my knuckle, and I used to call this my brontosaurus knuckle. Tall rounds are definitely harder, but what I was saying is I think people like this is what fits in my wood stove. I need to make it 14 or I need to make it 16 or 10, and I don't really care about the other sizes. Like I don't really think about it. But since I just get what I get, I just get it off the side of the road, and what I get is what I get. I kind of got to deal with different sizes. Makes stacking really annoying. I will say that it's much better to just cut your own wood. Long rounds are tougher to split than short usually. My stove takes 24-inch wood, but I cut to 18. Rob, that is beautiful. 24-inch wood. You got a beautiful wood stove, I bet. 24 inches. That's almost like a boiler. It's not, but what do you guys think about wood boilers? That's amazing. That's great. That's crazy technology. Not only are you heating your home, you're heating water. So if you ever want to take a hot shower or whatever, you can eat. People even heat their like well, actually, they do different. There's different ways of heating. Like they'll just have the heated floors, which heats your home or something. This stuff is amazing. Hearthstone 1. I don't know much about wood stoves, unfortunately. I do dream of having a place where I could use one day. It wouldn't make sense to put it in like a chimney fireplace, a regular fireplace. Um, but yeah, I would love to have a wood stove one day. Just a little cabin with a wood stove is like the dream. I think a lot of guys want that. Um, and you can go like die alone when you get really old in the woods. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to go in the woods? What do you guys think about being dead and like you got to look at my dead body? I don't want anybody looking at my dead body. Don't check out my dead body. I'm disgusting. Don't touch my dead body. Leave me where I lie, dead. So that's why you ever think about like maybe I can like do a little bit of what's it called when something bursts into flames? Spontaneous combustion. I just wish once I die, there's like a spell on me that I just spontaneously combust. Get rid of the evidence of this gross guy. Oh man, I'm a dark. I like dark and cute, which is not really doesn't really mesh with a lot of people in this world, unfortunately. I'm just so happy to have a reason to start this live stream. Really, I wanted to do a live stream today, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't really have much to talk about axe wise. Like, there's nothing really. They'll find me sitting on my stove probably. Hopefully, if you don't want to be found, you'll spontaneously combust as well. But yeah, I was like, what can I do for this live stream? I have the time and I want to do it. Oh yeah, I have 1,000 subscribers. Let's be grateful. Let's be appreciative. Thank you guys for. I think more people have been subscribing lately, so that's awesome. I really appreciate that kind of thing. What's that vulture burial religion in India? I don't know. I don't know about that vulture burial. Not sure. I'll have to ask my Indian pals. Um, the OnlyFans girls call them bobs. Do you know? Do you guys know about that? Convert to that. Yeah. Oh, like the vultures will just eat you or whatever. Is that what you're talking about, Matt? That'd be pretty nice. Although I don't like the thought of being eaten after I'm dead, but as at the same time, let's not be wasteful. There's meat to be had. Um, what was I just talking about? Oh yeah, Indian guys that are really horny online. They message cam girls and they said show bobs. So that's why I had a friend that was an OnlyFans girl for a little, and yeah, show bobs. Man, I just like we're just talking about the important things in life. Axes, how Indian guys are horny and how they talk to girls that show their private parts for money. It's the important stuff. Oh God, I think I need to do something with this camera. Either it's lower. Is that better for me? I think that might be better for me. Yeah. Have you heard of that, Matt? The Bobs? It's great. I'm no bloody Bob. Don't you talk. Don't you talk. Mother troll. Mother troll. I learned that curse word when I was a lot younger. I think it means fuck your mother, maybe, maybe not. Kind of like not that subtle to put almost. It's not spelled mother, but sounds like mother. Mother troll. I think I'm good at that. By the way, is this my good angle or should I raise it up so I look like a little kid? I'm rehandling an old jersey that got a little cheek. I'm guessing you meant check, but not a lot. Oh, like that. Oh, cheek. Yeah, okay. It makes for a decent what I call a tweener. Yeah, I've talked about those too. I call them like middle axes. Like they can kind of do everything, but not. They won't do everything great, but it's thick enough where it can do everything like split or chop. What else is there? I guess. Man, I should copy this handle maybe. It's a little thick. Like you can see my. Honestly, it's really nice. One of my big problems. I actually saw Matt just did a video where he pretty much made a handle from scratch. He didn't show the riving the timber. He had already done that in previous videos, but he talked about something really interesting. He keeps the back of the handle a little thicker than the front of the handle. So I wanted to talk about that because one problem I have is that sometimes the front of an axe. Oh, I missed a comment here. It's great for chopping and not bad for splitting of the right wood. Yep, those I love those kind of axes. Ones that you can kind of just have around and always use for anything you're doing. It's not going to be the best in the world at everything, but it's gonna be a user for anything you want it to. So one thing that I've noticed that I really can't deal with is when this part of the axe, the front of the axe, is now you can see where it's sitting on my fingers right here. when it's kind of like too pointy, it's a hot spot for me. So I've kind of made handles pretty rounded on both sides, but I think I do the same thing as Matt. I think the back of my handles are usually thicker and kind of not pointy at all. Weirdly, the problem is the front, but I think he said he does that for orientation. Um, when it's not going to be swung backwards, he'll do that. So I guess it's a specific thing. Should I go pick up another axe? I feel like there's a bunch of axes right there that I might not have showed in a long time. So let's go get a few axes. What do we got here? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. I got some cool stuff, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. This is cool, actually. This is quite cool. I'm excited to show you guys this one. So here's an axe that, oh, wow. Here's an axe that Mike sold me. Here's a Rixford. Let's see, what year is this one? R46, so 1946, post World War II. And I hope you guys could see it because it has a 3-pound axe with the stamp. Kind of rare. And this is on this handle for a while, as you can see. Let's see, what did I just miss there? I actually like the feel of octagonal handles. What do you guys think of them? I haven't used them too much, but I've used octagonal hammers, and same thing, as long as it's not too pointy, as long as, it's not as sharp, as long as it's chamfered on those corners, fine, not a big deal to me. And speaking of Rixford, here's one I used to use a lot on this channel. I haven't used it in a while. Kind of goofy. Oh, that's thinner than I thought. Oh, wow, that's really thin. It's actually different. Like, it's different. It's thinnest right here where my hand goes. Interesting. But here's a really nice Rixford. It's oh, wow, is this an R46? Two 1946 Rixfords. But I think this is a really nice one. I think this is a Dayton, and this is a really special shape to me. It almost has that, like, that Maine look to it to me. I think the Rixfords are like, they're not Connecticut axes, are they? I forget where they're from. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it. And I have the worst axe to show you guys that I pulled out of the bunch. Really early hang. Man, this is pathetic. It's a Holtzbrook. Really loose. Super closed hang. This is before I knew what I was doing. This would be Jesus, I can't even show it like straight. You see like what I mean? It's super closed, so it's tight to the handle instead of open as the other way. But the reason why I haven't used this, you might be able to see it. You see that damage? I think I filed it out, but on this side you can see it. Yeah, look at that. I filed it, but super soft steel. It is a Holtzbrook. Maybe this was put in a fire or something. Who knows? Terrible axe. Terrible handle I made for this. I reshaped the house handle, but look how bad my palm swells used to be. I don't know if you can see that, how bad that is. Really terrible. So one thing that really helped me was, I've talked about it a bunch, but the vintage handles to copy is just indispensable. Yeah, the straight handle is nice. I like it too. It's not perfect, but comfortable. The swell could use a lot of work. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing with swells back then, as you could see. Kind of abrupt, like, and roundy, if that makes sense. Like, it could have a little more concave to it, if that makes sense. I find the Swedes to tend to be closed. I wonder. So I think that it probably was kind of closed, and I just couldn't figure out how to open it up. But if you guys don't know, what you do to open a hang is you take material off of the back. Hold on, let me figure this out. And the front up top. So you try to remove as much material as you can before it's too much on the back, on the bottom of the back, and then you remove material on the front top of the tongue, so it can go like this. So you can rotate it this way instead of it rotating the other way, which is downwards. You want it to rotate up. So this is a really poor one. Sometimes the eye is just so funky that you're really battling the axe all the way through. And this was one of those ones I probably was battling. Um, Man, it's awesome that you guys showed up for. I think that this is the way to do my live streams. I got to schedule them because uh, it wasn't working. Did I? I think I scheduled this twice. I might have redone it. I'm not sure. I think I renamed this. Yeah, I was like Axemen Assemble live stream, and then I changed it. I was like, oh yeah, I have 1,000 subscribers, and I haven't talked about that yet. So that's why this got changed into that. And I think I'm gonna end the live stream because my dog is talking to me, and I gotta go. I gotta go tell him about some stuff. You know, he's got a lawsuit, and dog's got a lawsuit. You know, he's a big time lawyer. He's got a court case, I guess. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for 1,000 subscribers. I hope I get to like a couple hundred more before I spontaneously combust. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Matt. Urban Lumberjack. Yeah, a lot of newer axes have a terrible eye, and it makes it so much harder to hang. I saw that on your Montreal, Matt. Thank you, Lo. Yeah, guys, check out Matt's last video. He did the whole handle. Like it's 2 hours long because he did it all. If you need to learn from if you learn from watching people, which is something Skill Cult has talked about in the past, go watch Matt's video because he goes through the whole thing. He makes the whole handle, and he's pretty thorough. He shows some good tips, some good tricks. I don't do everything like that, but I'd probably say it's smarter to use a center line for beginners than what I do. I just go by eye. So yeah, check out his channel, and thanks for everything, guys. Thank you, Woodcutter.